expanded now, yeah.
But then I get again thinking,
Nice.
Yo, on my days, guys. We have a little bit of a bonus episode with Mr. Kelvin Hewlett, our podcast flame. It's been a while, bro. It's been a minute. How are you, man?
I am fantastic, on top of the moon, shining like a star.
Shining like the star that you are.
Good.
Where you been, bro? What you been doing? Let's tell the world. Let's enlighten the world what you have been up to.
Well, it's because we're in October, November, the next couple of days, and it's been a crazy journey. March this year is, end of March 26, Bell palsy happened to me, which is still healing from now, but much better than what it was before. And I changed jobs because I was in the catering. I couldn't do much filming, mainly because I felt uncomfortable with the whole thing. The face was like really stiff, and registered to that modeling agency where they able to do no jobs whatsoever, and they were like, "Where are you?" And ever since I've kind of moved away from the catering side with the gentleman that I was partnered with. Not partnered with, I was working alongside with. Started my own venture, Kelvin's Kitchen.
Ooh.
Yeah, Kelvin's Kitchen. And
that's like a completely different direction, really, isn't it? It's like film, podcasting, streaming, all of this stuff, and then like you have a shock of reality, and then it's like shift.
Yeah. And now I'm having to be innovative with starting a whole new company, running my own business, and coming with creative ways to get income just to get by. Because when you start a company for real, it is no money. It's literally, it's so funny when I tell people, "Come on, business now, Kelvin's Kitchen running." The assumption that you have all this cash, crazy, because they see the end result. I work really hard to build it and get it up, get the capital, and it's sort of standing on its own feet right now. And I see potential for it in the future coming down, but the assumption that there's all this cash that I'm making is just crazy. But it's I'm not quite happy to say here on the podcast. There is no cash coming towards me. You know what I mean?
Oh, trust me, I'll fucking say it all day, every day. I am fucking broke.
But what's been nice is now that I have the business up and running, I'm going right. Now you got to find a way to generate an income and still run this business at the same time. Because one of the issues I have with catering, because it's so small, it's at a pub in Send Woking, and I can't afford to hire staff. So I had to get innovative and find ways to work and create income. So you do. I'm not there yet. I'm getting to that point where I will be. That's why I want to rush and get this episode happening now, because my time is gonna go again. But it's just what you have to do. You have to create an income somewhere and keep this running at the same time, and then hopefully as that grows, the business, I can step away from that and then start focusing on other things, and then get those things to generate income, and then future down the road, 5-10 years, I could make some money off of Kelvin's Kitchen. But for now, it's like just seeing those zeros, you're just like, oh, this is real.
Yeah. It's about in your situation, it's almost about like finding, and I say your situation of like the circumstances you're in and the circumstances you want. Like it's about finding that balance and being comfortable with taking a step back, because that's what it is. It's taking a step back of the reality you want, and formulating it into a new reality, which is which has gone into a path of which, don't tell me if I'm wrong, which you're loving, which is the kitchen. You've always had this side of you of that kind of route. And something I wanted to expand on as well is how you look at it you almost are looking at your journey as in a creative light. Whereas, like, I feel like a lot of people, if they were to hear someone building a kitchen or creating a kitchen, they wouldn't see it as, I guess, creative. It's a business. It's a I don't know what the right word I'm looking for, but it's not that creative side. But what you've just highlighted is actually how creative these different adventures are. We just put particular labels on particular things that we believe is creative, but when actually I'll just always go back to everything and everyone is creativity. And you've kind of just proven that with what you've just kind of said about the thinking of the initiative of these different ways you have to build your kitchen from scratch with no money.
Yeah. All creatives end up in a position that I'm in at some point. I'm kind of doing it another way, where you build your career. Say you're a photographer, you're an actor, or whatever it is. You work really hard. You have no money. You build that career. As soon as you got that running, you look for something else that's lucrative, that's going to generate an income. Could be housing, some sort of business that you're interested in, designing housing, clothing, textiles. I don't know. And I saw this opportunity and went, okay, I have an opportunity to run my own kitchen, start from the ground, bottom up. And what I'll do is, once that's up and I get to that point where it's comfortable and it can run on its own, then I take a step back and then focus on my creative, which is dance, the drama, the acting, getting back onto YouTube, streaming, that sort of thing. And my training as well. And I see it, I see the kitchen as a tool to help me be independent so that I can focus on the things that I really want to do. But that being said, there is a lot of love going into the food, and the business itself. So I'm not just going, oh my God, I don't want to be a chef and all of this and just chucking on anything. I'm taking advice from customers, ask them advice about the food, the presentation, that sort of thing, and what can I do to improve, to make sure the experience is good for them when they come in to the pub and they eat food, and kind of ideas, events, things like that. When I touch base with you about the Caribbean night, which we're doing on the 25th.
Ooh, that's it, guys. 25th November, baby. We are doing a Caribbean night over at Kelvin's Kitchen. I'm really excited. We're going over, CandlerCreative's going over support with content and just support wherever we can on the night. And yeah, I'm excited. It's going to be a cool night, bro.
Flyers are coming out this week. I'm getting them all printed. And then I'm going to try and promote them on social media. So this is the week to really start just push. Just constantly let people know you can start buy tickets. They're online on kelvinskitchen.co.uk. Buy them in, come down, have a good night. Get yourself some photos, pay the extra money, get more photos. There's raffle, food, all sorts, DJ. Oh man, it's gonna be good. And I've been so tired from all this, and it's taken a mental strain as well. Because I'm quite calm, cool, collected person, but dealing with the stress of building a business, and I don't think this helps as well. It's very much so highlighted in the last couple of months. It's just so frustrating. Just like, and I've had to, in a way, the Bell's pause has been a blessing because I've really had to go. This is my new thing now. I say to myself, you need to calm down. It's like even a little bit of stress, a little bit of irritants, it's just not good.
That's such an important message that you just said. How the Bell's palsy was, I can't remember, sorry, I've just literally just blanks your exact wording, your exact phrasing, how you said it was it was a positive, it was a blessing. I think that's such a positive message, and an important message, because we look at things that happen to us in our lives and we think of it as negative. We think of it as a something that's happened to us, and we can't move past this. But what we don't see is actually the other side. We don't see, because we can't see the future. We can't see what the hell's going to happen. But actually, if you take that negative connotation of what you've been through and what you're going through, and you change it and you shift it to a positive mentality, that's doing way more for you in so many different ways. You're changing changing your brain waves. Your brain is malleable. Your brain shifts and it changes. And if you constantly just put forward this notion of that everything that's happening to your life is positive, that change, you can change yourself, and you can fucking change the world, man. I truly believe that.
Yeah. I see myself as a bit of a perfectionist, and I realize how, I'm definitely not perfect. I got a lot of things to sort out, and it's funny how these sort of times kind of show you what you're lacking. And I still believe I handle. One thing I would say, though, I'll give myself some credit here. Even though I've seen some faults and some errors and things like that, I do handle pressure pretty well. I've had a lot of moments where it feels like I'm gonna cave in, and I'm not too sure how to deal with the situation in real time. I had to really dig deep, and didn't really handle certain situations the best, but I found a way to kind of cope with it and then recollect and go, right, can't react that way, can't behave that way, can't mentally continue like this. You're gonna break down. You really gotta function, because when you have an entity that's dependent on you, you go, well, either you get yourself together or this whole thing is gonna flop. You want it to flop, or are you gonna work hard? Just really, try and get yourself together. I gotta find a way to put all this stuff on mute. All my notifications are coming through.
I was trying to ignore it, bro.
It's kind of annoying. I don't know if I can. Oh yeah, I can. Let me.
It's completely fine. This is bonus. We're on bonus territory, so whatever happens in here, bro.
I just figured it out. I just shut one thing down. Nothing's coming through. This thing's on silent, so nothing should come through. It
happens to me all the time, man. And the thing is, as well, my new setup is I've got like computer here with WhatsApp, so I can message like the guests or whatever I need to do. I've got this that usually has like my messaging thing, and then I've got this which usually goes on like vibrate. So if I haven't got a vibrate happening near the mic, I've got a fucking ding dong over here on my other computer. Or if I ain't got a ding dong here, I've got a ding dong here. So it's but I'm figuring it out. And it's been like ever since the last podcast we did. I think especially when we had the episode, it was the first episode where we were together, and it was at your place. And I think ever since then, it's really sent me on this journey of like, I fucking love this. Like, I really do love this, and it's really elevated like the podcast. I think it's made me so much better. Like, I'd be really interested to actually watch the podcast now, from like the beginning to like now, and actually see that journey, because I think there was like a pinnacle, there was like a moment or something where it just switched in me, and it just like gave me this confidence and this like this drive for the podcast, and like what this can be and what this is. And like, I've got like structured now. I've got like fucking scripts going on, bro. It's mad. It's so mad. It's so cool. It's so sick. And I can't wait for us to have more of these. Like, to have more our old like debates and like, well, not debates, they weren't debates, when we were having like our old conversations just about the world and just went on our tangents. It's going to be really cool to dive into them again.
And I like what you just said there. That's the kind of mindset I like, when you say, I can't wait for what's going to happen, speaking that truth, speaking what you want to happen. Because I believe the same thing. It's all going to come back when they get there. I don't. A speaker, Les Brown, well famous. He's known for saying a setback is nothing but a setup for a comeback.
Say that again. Repeat that again.
A setback is nothing but a setup for a comeback. So most people feel when things aren't going your way, oh my God, it's the end of the world. It's not gonna happen for me. Things are going so great. And then really and truly, it's just a setup for your comeback, man. You're gonna come back harder and stronger. But as long as you stay consistent, stay focused, and keep driving. I like Denzel Washington saying, where he says, I don't know it quote unquote, but he says discipline and consistency is two things that work very well together, and you need that.
It's discipline in the mind, though, that's so important. Because you can have, okay, fair enough, you can have the discipline of getting up every single day at 8 o'clock, doing your workout, doing your meditation. But if you just don't have the discipline in the mind to say, like, you're going to get here at this point, you constantly tell yourself, like, I'm going to be this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do, and you constantly have that discipline of that positive mindset we were talking about. You're just never going to, you're just going to constantly just go in these circles of going back to the start. And just, I feel like there was something more that I was trying to explain with that whole dialogue, but I couldn't get it out.
When he words it, he says consistency is like the engine, right? So you gotta. That's what's gonna keep you going. We need to apply discipline, and without the consistency, you won't reach your goal. You won't get to that, and you need to have discipline as well to keep the consistency going. And I just remember him ending it saying, I gotta learn this quote, man, and the way he puts it. But I know he ends it saying that.
Well, you know what? Let's do a live fact check. Denzel Washington quote.
There you go.
I've got my second screen now, bro. I can do whatever the fuck I want. Wait, so what is it?
So you'll never start, you'll never finish.
Denzel. I don't even know how to spell Denzel. Denzel.
Denzil. Washington.
Denzel Washington quote. Consistency. Look, there we go. Quote consistency.
Yeah.
Importantly, without consistency, you'll never finish. Okay, well, that's not. Wait, consistency and what is it?
Discipline.
Consistently last towards achieving your goals. Without consistency, you will never cross the finish line and realize our dreams. That's not what that is. Discipline and consistency are key. Maybe it's this. Without discipline, you still. Oh, we've got a video. I've got a video up. Let's see if I can. Let's see if this is it.
Dreams without goals.
That's it.
Just dreams. Come on. And ultimately.
How's that?
That's the one.
Is this it?
That's it.
Dreams without goals
are just dreams, and ultimately lead to disappointment. This is it. Let's do it.
Let me play it. See if this is actual.
Dreams without goals are just dreams. Come on. And ultimately they fuel disappointment. Exactly. On the road to achieving your dreams, you must apply discipline, but more importantly, consistency. Because without commitment, you'll never start. But without consistency, you'll never finish.
That's it.
Ooh, my God.
Yeah.
Oh, shit. Oh, so I just unplugged my
Yeah, that's it. I think that's the key word I was missing. Commitment. Commitment is what will get you started, but consistency is what helps you get to the end. Yeah.
Yeah, sick. Oh, look at that. I'm loving this whole double screen thing. This is great. This is like leveling up. Oh,
Definitely.
no. Cool, bro. I do love those glasses, man.
Whenever I feel like I got too much light in the eye, I just chuck these on. So it's really good. Yeah, makes me look cool as well.
Yeah.
What do you think, since you last seen me, in terms of, I don't know, you guys were quite shocked with the whole face and stuff, but now, well, not there, but since
No,
you
I
have it,
think it's definitely more like your movement here is a lot more. Here is still not there, but
yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
eye. So it's like just this little tiny bit. So it's like creeping back.
Yeah, it's funny. This muscle, let me show you something so weird. So this muscle is working now, and all these muscles around here are working. They're not strong, they're still weak. But because this one is coming, look what happens to this eye when I start using this muscle. I'm not controlling this, by the way. It's being
Kelvin's
controlled.
pointing to his hand, to his mouth, by the way, for everyone who's actually listening and not watching. I've just realized. Sorry.
So when I move the lip, look what happens to the eye.
Oh, the eye goes down.
It's almost like, because this is not strong enough, and they're all these muscles seem to be interlinked. They're connected, but they're so strong individually on their own. They're being controlled automatically to blink and do so on. So because this is so weak, when I move this, I have to think and control this muscle to get this eye up, but I can't get it up because it's not strong enough to get
That's
up like
mad.
this.
And surely as well, like that half your face will be weaker, right? Because now it will be a lot weaker because you've just had 6 to 7 months of it non-moving. So the function in those muscles. So then surely you'd have to grow those muscles back.
Yeah.
But you're
What
going
I
to be
do,
winking at everyone for the next like 6 months.
which I haven't done today, I've started chewing a lot. I don't like it.
Chewing.
Yeah, but I chew a lot of gum, and it's really helped. And I do electrical acupuncture. Where is that thing? I have a device here which pretty much electrocutes the face.
That's mad.
Somewhere around here. But you put it on certain points and it will, if I can find it. I'll definitely find it later because I usually use it at night when I'm.
So basically, just to describe, you basically shock your face with a little device.
Yeah, and it works the muscles and really gets it
Mad.
going, you know? It's got me
Mad.
thinking, where the hell is it? All right, somewhere around here. Oh, I'll figure that out later. It's no point.
No, that's mad. I wonder as well, though, what I was just thinking as well, because we were on the topic of Bell palsy and, well, your Bell palsy and the different direction that kind of made you take. I wonder if there's anyone who actually potentially listens to this who's had something similar to Bell palsy, where they've had a direction and they've had something happen, and it's taken them on a new direction, and it's taken them on this new direction. That'd be interesting, because I think there's probably a lot of people that's happened to, right?
To do what I've done is, and it's my lifestyle and the work that I was involved in, media and all that stuff. It depends on what your life is like, man. I can see most people just, if you got comfortable 9 to 5, you got that situation, everyone kind of works around it, and then you kind of crack on as normal and hope for the best and wait until this gets better. It's individuals who are self-employed or rely on their facial expressions and things like that to get through for the day-to-day work. The question is, what do they go through? you know, because I've seen some people on TikTok.
Yeah, that's a really good show.
On TikTok, there's a lot of people on TikTok to giving their experience of Bell palsy, and you know, their experience and mine is so different. There was one guy who was a gymnast, you know. Oh my gosh, look what happened to me. He had a popular following, and then he's, you know, he's investing money into the acupuncture and a whole bunch of stuff. He healed within 3-4 months and stuff like that. He's showing the journey and that. But income wise, you know, there was no struggle, there was no issue. He had to cut back for a little bit, you know, to recover and things like that. But you just get to watch a journey, and it's kind of like, oh, happy days. Someone like me, for example, there's no story, there's nothing going on, there's nothing on on TikTok going here and there. There was just what my life was kind of like, felt like it's kind of falling apart. Didn't really know what I want to do or what can I actually do right now. And well, I need to work, I need to make money, and I need to pay rent, and got a daughter and all this stuff. And then, you know, mentally, you know, when I think I gave you a buzz and just said, "I have to be honest with you, man." They just didn't know that, you know, I was going through. I was just like, I can't function right now.
Yeah.
And I was taking I think I was taking this like too lightly. No, I was taking it lightly, but you know, I was trying to be positive about the whole thing, and you know, we're gonna get.
I remember when it first came around, it was. It was. I could feel the drive still within you, and you couldn't face reality that it happened. Really,
Yeah,
you just kind of kept going and go, well, no, it's fine. I can power through this. I'm Kelvin Hewlett. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
so I think it's almost like it was like a sign that your body was like, no, bro, you gotta like chill out for a bit. You gotta like just take a step back, still carry on doing what you're doing, and just like it was no, just take a step back, and then we can get to doing what you want to be doing.
Well, I want to point on something that there's another aspect, and since we're like doing like, you know, podcasts and all this kind of stuff, another thing I don't want to take for granted is that I'm a single individual, you know, single person. It does play a fact in your life, you know, like you realize it would be nice to have someone to lean on, kind of. I don't have that luxury, you know what I mean? And you can't, and in my position, you can't necessarily rely on other people, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You need to have that partner already set up, who's gonna be like your die hard, is gonna be there for you. And in the world we live in today, it's kind of hard to even find individuals who are going to be like your boy. They're gonna be there for you, you know. They're gonna support you, you know what I mean? It doesn't have to be a soulmate, it could be a friend. You know, and those relationships don't come by easily for everyone. I think that setup is in most people's lives, because when you look out the door, there's like groups of individuals in any kind of setting at work, or when we go on theater productions, you see certain people like cling together and things like that. And some people find those relationships very easily. I think individuals like you and myself, we sort of somehow find each other, but because of all other boxes that we're in, we can't always be together, but we can relate, because we know that loneliness feels like, because we don't necessarily have those we feel so different from the world that you feel alone. Get me? Everyone doesn't understand. They like you. They like the things that you can do. They like what you're about. They can have a nice little conversation with you. But would they really spend day after day after day after day after day with you? They'll get sick of you after a while. Because you're a unique individual and you don't think and tweak like everyone else. You know what I mean? When you're kind of on the same, I'm not saying it's a bad thing when everyone's on the same wavelength, but when you're on the same wavelength as everyone else is, majority of the world, it's easier.
Feels free.
Yeah.
Feels free. It feels when you feel different and you feel when you feel different and you don't feel like your normal I don't want to say average, it's such a negative word, your normal kind of mentalities, societal kind of norms, when you're not in this structure, and then you are with another individual, you're with another individual who has a same kind of mindsets as you and doesn't think like everyone else, and you have that one interview and you have that time with someone where you don't feel so alone. It feels freeing. It feels like you're in that flow state. I've heard this word quite thrown around quite a lot recently, this flow state. Where when you're dancing, or you're a photographer and you're taking photos, or you're an artist and yeah, exactly, you're in your flow state. It's almost like reality doesn't exist. You're just it's like you are just alive. And that's how I feel like when I have these conversations, say with you and like, particular guests on the podcast, or relationships within reality, or like real life, and like today, it's so freeing, because like I feel so held back with all these different things I want to say, and all these different things, like these different mentalities, these different observations I see about the world. And I can't have that with certain people, because they just want to talk about their their day and what the weather's like outside and all this and stuff, and I feel it almost feels quite trapping, like trapped. And then as soon as I can release all that, it's like, I'm free.
You don't feel judged.
Don't feel judged. Exactly. Yeah, man.
I've realized that with myself, with some people I've spent time with. I was like, wow, I didn't, just because of who I am and my beliefs. When you have certain beliefs, you live a certain way, you have certain values, and someone else's differs completely from your values and beliefs and structure. They spend too much time around you, they're going to start feeling offended. They're going to start tiptoeing around you. And I didn't realize I had that effect on a lot of people, because like I'm very stern when it comes to certain things. And I realized that, wow, I'm quite off-putting to some people, because when you initially meet me, I could be like nice and fun and things like that. When you get too close to me, get to know me, other than what you see on the podcast or the little fun side, you realize, oh, he's a little bit serious. Yeah. Well, what is, because I come from a Christian background, and I have certain ways of living that I like to uphold. Be a good person, be good unto other people. I don't really care to discuss religiously wise what you particularly believe. I don't need to know any of that stuff. You know what I mean? If you're open to it, we can have that discussion. We will click naturally. Or if I feel a movement, we'll have that discussion. But I just really believe in being a good, wholesome person and doing good. And I strive to be this individual, and I try to take this
and so to interrupt you, but that also kind of, I feel like that's with honesty as well. That's one of your values that I see from what you just said, is honesty. I just cut the bullshit. If I don't want to speak to you, I don't speak to you. I don't speak to you. And it's something actually recently I've kind of had to tell myself and give myself, is because I have my energy in so many different ways, so many different things that I'm doing, whether it's running the community, whether it's doing my own photography, whether it's trying to find other freelance work, whether it's my own life with Soph, all these different things. My energy is split into 10, 20 different things. And I've realized I can't allow my energy to fake anything anymore. If I don't want to talk, I don't talk. If I don't want to converse in a conversation, I just don't converse in a conversation. And that's me doing that for me. And it's very controversial for me to say that, because I'm all about kind of like for others. But what I've realized now is what I've realized, and I always had this realization, but I'm imposing it into myself now is having this idea of like, I need to think about me, but then I also need to think about like others. Like, do you need my energy right now? Like, do you fully wholeheartedly need my energy? Are you down? Do you need something to like to pick you up and make you feel better? Even though I'm not feeling that, I'm going to give that. Because it's because I can. I'm a positive kind of guy. I want to like make everyone feel happy. Okay, let me sacrifice myself right now to make you feel better, and that is okay. But then a lot of the time, if I have a conversation with someone and I'm just not feeling it, I'm civil and I have this kind of demeanor of like, and I do listen. I'm not a fucking asshole. Like I will listen to you, but I just won't give I won't give my full energy. I won't be like that. Because yeah, man, we can't, that's what brings us in a downward spiral, I think, is when we're just constantly like trying to say, make everyone like us, or put this impression to the world that we're like this, I don't know, this enlightened, incredible human being. Sometimes we're not. Sometimes I don't want to be this amazing human being. I know I am, but
well, the reality there, Dan, is I know exactly what you're saying, because I feel the same way in terms of, you want to give to a lot of people and be able to share different experiences with a lot of people. The reality is you can't talk with everyone in the room. You are gonna have to pick, and how you pick is the easiest thing in the world. And I'll use this analogy. I've actually done this a few times. It's like you go into a room, single guy, right? There's loads of women and they're all beautiful. How do you pick which girl you're going to talk to, or which one is the one? Now, bear in mind, they're all beautiful women there, just standing there. Let's say there's around 50 girls. And I have been in so many groups where there's loads of people, loads of beautiful women. But I'm always honest with myself, and I'll look in that whole room and I'll go, if I was to go and try and approach one of these girls, there's always one out of the whole room, or sometimes none. And if there's none, that's it. There's none. But there's always one, honestly, sometimes, where you go, that's the girl I've been more attracted to, physically. And if I had a conversation, it wasn't there, then it's just like, okay, it's just not there. Just leave it. But you don't need to think about it. It's so you can't approach and talk to everyone. But when you're in a space and there are people there, the reality is you will know. You will know from the first minute or so, even
it's
less
energy.
than that.
It's energy. It's your gut.
Yeah, you feel it, and there's no need to force it. I've realized that there's no need to force it. Sometimes you might carry on just to be polite, or you're really making an effort because you just met this person for the first time. But I think we all should rely on our instincts. When doesn't mean you don't have to. Doesn't mean I'm not saying don't be nice to the individual. What I am saying is, if you know the energy isn't there, don't force it. It's just not there.
And that's exactly it. And on that perfect note, I think we'll end it there, bro. And I think that's beautiful. It's been so nice to have you back, man. My beautiful original podcast flame. It's I can't wait for us to have more of these chats, and hopefully over time we can maybe have these bonus episodes a little bit more.
Mondays
are our filming days.
Always be my day. And I'm going to make the effort when things quiet down. Well, not quiet down. I don't think it's quiet down. It's getting more organized.
Well, exactly that, man. You need to do you, and you need to sort yourself out in the energy that you need to sort yourself out at that time. And I'm here for you, man. here full-heartedly as your support whenever you need me. You know that, man. And I can't wait to have you back. So it's exciting times, bro. And if you're around the Woking area, guys, go check out Kelvin's Kitchen, baby. Where is the location of Kelvin's Kitchen?
It's in an area called Ripley called Send. So funny, it's Woking, and there's a part of Woking called Send, which is near Ripley. But
Cool.
Send Marsh Road in Send, Woking.
Check it out, guys. They got some fucking. God, that was a fucking nightmare. I mean, we pretty much. Hello. Oh. That was so jokes, man. I mean, that's why I finished it when I finished it, because because I heard the 10 minutes and I was like, oh my god, we literally have like 2 minutes left.
I was like, what's going on? That was brutal.
No, so yeah, I mean, yeah. So that's just oh, what is it?
My acupuncture.
Oh, right.
So I put this. So that is now.
Oh, here we go, guys. We've actually. Oh wow, we actually get the insight into the electric thing just to end the episode.
But here's the thing: you have to find the spot. So I found the spot where it really connects. So if I put this here, that
just gives you an electric shock.
That is massaging the muscles here, right here by the eye.
Mad.
And all around there. So that's been the new spot that I've been doing, which has been really helping. Right now, I feel so relaxed. It's really working those muscles.
Fantastic. Well, thanks a lot, guys. While Kelvin electrocutes himself and relaxes into that, that's us. So sorry for that last ending of an abrupt ending, but that's CandlerCreativeChats, people. We don't know what's going to happen with these things, because that's what happens when you just have an hour to record. Oh my god.
There you go.
Peace out, guys. Follow, subscribe, and make sure to follow Kelvin's journey with his Kelvin's Kitchen. You're all amazing human beings. Kelvin, you're an amazing human being. Thank you for joining me on this podcast, bonus podcast episode.